Sri Anandamayi Ma ki jai. Ma. In Dhyan or Samadhi, there comes a stage where there is no possibility even of perceiving a second besides the one. There, the behavior that arises out of duality cannot occur. What is referred to here is a state in which there is no movement, although there appears to be. How can movement be possible here? When such a person is seen acting, someone may perhaps remark, he has descended in order to do some particular work. When an MA reads the ABC, does he thereby lose his status as an MA? There is a state where nothing can possibly appear as a second. Having dived into the Ganga, one is bound to be wholly drenched. When established in pure being, one does not stray from it anymore. However, before one's status has ripened to perfect maturity, one may have occasional lapses. But what has once been realized will, as it were, draw one back to itself. At this stage, there is oscillation between two directions. Yet it is marvelous state, not one of ignorance. The next stage is bhav. One enters and leaves it alternately, becoming immersed and then floating once more on the surface. Going still further, even this state passes and one becomes absolutely inert like a stone. If one has not arrived at this rock-like inertness and is still experiencing aesthetic fervor with its ups and downs, this is not a perfect, although a supernormal state. It is like being alternately in a cool room and going outside into the heat. Then comes perfection, complete and final immersion. When this has taken place, he who has achieved it is still seen to move and act as you do, but actually he neither goes anywhere, nor eats, nor does he perceive anything. Inquirer: this sounds like a contradiction in terms he eats yet does not eat, he goes yet does not go. How can this be? Ma: once immersed, one will have to be stabilized in that condition, where the inner and the outer have fused into one. I eat as you do, go about the same as you do. If one feels that the statement he eats and yet does not eat is self-contradictory, then one's realization of the Brahman is of a piecemeal variety. There is no ground for contradiction. How can oneness be limited? By limitation, it would be broken up. This is why it was said that there is no question of eating and not eating, and so on. However, it is difficult to understand even in part whether someone is asleep or in samadhi. Gold and brass look more or less alike. But when gold has been touched, one is transformed into it. How can one who lives on the plane of Brahman see petty differences? Due to your partial vision, you perceive incongruity. There is, in fact, no question of having realized or being in ignorance. If someone calls himself a man of realization, he thereby assumes a certain position. What does self-realization signify? Knowledge, all comprehensive and unlimited in every respect. What you have been, nay, what you are in reality, becomes revealed. From whatever line of approach or attitude of mind anyone may hold any view, everything is right. Just as you say, he walks without feet, he sees without eyes. If limited by any place or qualification, by any form or mode, be it through inclusion or exclusion, the realization is not full, not complete. What is expressed from any standpoint is seen from that particular angle, in a particular way. For space and time have remained. This body does not falsify matters, it speaks the exact truth. Everything is correct from the point of view from which it is said. Inquirer: if, as you declare, everything is correct, then suppose someone wishing to have darshan of Vishwanath goes to a Durga temple and says, "This is Vishwanath. Is this also correct?" Ma: at a certain level one may rightly say, "Yes, this is Vishwanath," because at that moment it will be Vishwanath. The Vishwanath now thought of in his mind will reveal himself exactly the same as the Vishwanath limited by time and space. For everything is contained in everything. But it may also be said that Vishwanath is not in a temple of Durga. Truth can be expressed in many ways. All kinds of replies may be given. Inquirer: if whatever anyone says is correct, why then did Shankaracharya, who was a man of realization, refute the arguments of his opponents? Ma: whenever it is necessary that anything should be done, it will be done without fail. The top of the tree contains its root, because the seeds are everywhere present. There is no contradiction. Sri Anandamayi Ma ki Jai.